All right, step number 3 in the home buying process is making an offer on the house that you want. Now, for some people, this is super exciting, right? For some people, this is super stressful, okay? Luckily, I love negotiating on properties. I love finding great deals for the home buyers, right? So the negotiation process is very important, right? One of the important steps that I take is I call that listing agent, or if the seller, if it's a for sale by owner, and I ask them a series of questions to dig deeper on what's important to them, what their motivation for selling, what kind of clues can we get in order to write the best offer. Oftentimes we're competing with other buyers, and it really comes in handy to know the insider information that can put us in a better position to have that home seller accept our offer. Ideally, we don't want any other offers on the table, okay? That's gonna give us a better negotiating leg to stand on, but oftentimes that's not the case. We are competing on buyers in all types of markets. So I wanna know why that home seller is selling. I wanna know what is important to them. Do they have any things that they are really looking for that may be deal killers to them? I'm gonna dig deeper a few levels because a lot of the listing agents don't really wanna have that conversation. But the more I talk to them, the longer the conversation goes, they're usually able to give us some information that we're gonna find helpful, okay? Now, below this video, I'm gonna have an example of our purchase contract because the time you write your first offer, I don't want that to be the first time you've actually seen a purchase agreement. So scroll below, flip through it. There's a lot of important points to it, more so than just purchase price and closing date, right? There's contingency periods, there's deposits, loan amounts, interest rates, all that good stuff. So I want you to be somewhat familiar so that it's less scary when we go forward to actually write the offer. So I like to sit down and go over the offer in detail so that you know exactly what you're offering, you know exactly what you're signing. Also part of that process is I'm gonna pretend that I'm gonna go list this property for sale on the market. I'm gonna do a market analysis on this property so that you can kind of have a good idea of where that market value is so that you can make an educated offer on this property. We're gonna combine that information with the information we got about the home seller, the motivations, all that other good stuff, and we're gonna really talk about what is gonna make the best offer on this property and match that up to your goals and kind of figure out where we go. We're gonna talk about the possible outcomes, A, B, or C, if we get a counter offer, if they accept it, or if they just deny the offer altogether. Sometimes this back and forth process of counter offers goes a few, right? Usually we are pretty good at getting it to go back and forth, maybe just a couple of times, because after you go back a few times, everybody's just kind of irritated in that whole bit. But right, it could go back and forth. Sometimes the sellers are out of town, sometimes they're not really tech savvy, so it takes a little bit longer than you would expect. But on our side of the transaction, if we can process the counteroffer or the responses quickly and get them back, it's gonna help push things forward. So part of this whole process of negotiating is to set your proper expectations and know exactly where we stand in the contract. Okay, so we're gonna get into step number 4 in the next video. And that one's really fun. Your contract was accepted and you're now in escrow. So we'll see you in the next video.